How's it going, y'all? Today, I want to show you how to film a line in Skate 3 with a fisheye lens. You're gonna need patience because it takes a little while to learn how to do this good. To get the fisheye focal lengths that we need for this, you're gonna have to do a glitch. These focal lengths are not in the game, so we have to glitch to get them. It's a very simple glitch. Once you do it a couple times, you'll really kind of grasp what you need to do. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'm going to film this line that I've already landed and show you how I film a fisheye line with keyframes and everything. So let's get started. If you're not familiar, a fisheye lens is a sort of eyeball-shaped lens that captures 180 degrees or close to it, up, down, side to side. Skateboarders like to use it because you can get the entire skater in the frame. You can get the spot. It just makes everything look bigger also, or longer if it's like a big staircase. So it works really well for skating and for, coincidentally, fake video game skateboarding too. So very useful tool, especially for lines. So to get started, I've already cut this clip down to the length I need. I've given myself just a little bit of room here to do some artistic stuff at the beginning that I'll show you. First things first, let's do the glitch. Once you're at this point, use the right trigger to cycle through the timeline to about, 3/4 of the way through. Press A to edit clip, go down to advanced free camera, select yes. And so you'll see it says zoom 24 millimeters. You're going to use the D-pad, the right press of the D-pad to zoom in to about 65 millimeters to do this glitch. Press A to set that keyframe. Now go back in the timeline to about right there. Press A again to do a new keyframe in advanced free camera and zoom out to about 35 millimeters is what I like to do. You're almost done with the glitch already. It's really not that hard. Use the left trigger to go back in the timeline. You'll notice how it zooms in and out when I do that. So where you set this next keyframe, you're going to want it to be at the fisheye focal length, which is either 15 millimeter or 16 millimeter generally. I think some people film at 17. There are some outliers who film all the way down to like 10 millimeters, which looks really zoomed out and makes clips look distorted and fast. And Dimzilla is a notable user of the 10 millimeter function back in the day. So anyways, remember this was 35 millimeters. So as you're zooming out, you're at like 30, 20 something. So maybe like right here, select it. And we're at 14 millimeters. So set that keyframe, press up on the D-pad and delete it, and zoom or cycle a little further in the timeline to try and get to 16 millimeter. So press A to set that keyframe. Go back to the ones we set before, press up to delete those. And now your focal length is set at 16 millimeters. Never zoom in, never zoom out, or it will ruin the glitch and you'll have to delete everything and redo it. So you'll notice if I go through the timeline here, it's zooming in and out. To fix that, so you can set new keyframes, just select this one, find your skater, and go ahead and frame this keyframe where you want it to be. So we're about to do a switch flip into a switch backside tail slide. So some theory about filming. I like to keep my skater, your subjects should be in the left or the right side of the frame generally. It just makes it more appealing looking. You're also looking at the spot that you're about to hit. So that's something you really need to keep in mind, is to always keep what you're about to hit in the frame so that your viewer can see what's about to be hit. So for this one, we're gonna get him framed nice. Don't cut the head off, don't cut the wheels off, get the spot in there. Boom. First keyframe is set. And now we can move without it zooming in and out. So I will go all the way to the beginning, press A to set a new keyframe, find my skater. Where's he at? All right. So the artistic stuff I wanted to do at the beginning, I left a little more room for. I want to start this clip looking at the ground. and we're gonna slowly lift up and put the skater in frame. So set that keyframe. Get about right here and drop it down. Get a little closer. You can still leave your skater like kind of out of frame a little bit since we're still far away from that ledge. You know, maybe like right here. You can go back and see how that looks. So see, there's the idea there. Whoops. So what I like to do before I start setting lots of keyframes along the line is to just set up a handful of like highlight points. So I'll go ahead and do the artistic thing at the beginning if I'm doing that. And then I'll set keyframes at the peak of each trick, so I know it's framed well before I start adding more. So we're about to do a backside heel flip onto this ledge. And when we pop that, I want to make sure that I've got a good view of that. Generally, you do not want to be behind your skater with the camera either. So if your back is, you know, if you're hitting something front side, try to film from the side, like the front or the back side of your skater like this. It just makes it look better. Their ass is not in your face. So we've framed this all right. Got the hand in there, the board, boom. So let's keep going through the timeline. There's that one we framed. All right, we're in the tail slide. So let's go a little further in it so we have room to frame that kickflip later. We're about to pop out of this, so I want to be low and close. And keep in mind, we're about to land into this bank, so if you can sort of like get that landing in the frame also, somehow like try to do that. That looks pretty good. So then we do the shove it. We can drop down here. Start letting that skater sort of move into the left side of the frame. Let's make sure that looks good before we finalize it. Yeah, that should look all right. So keep going. Follow your skater. You can start getting your skater like out of frame and start looking at the ground again like you started the clip off. So like here, I'll move with the skater a little more and just be looking at the ground at the end. So it should, well, let's see. You know, as we play that, I'll start looking at the ground. All right. So we've set our highlights. Let's close the timeline, play it, and see how it looks. So we're out of frame there. Things could be framed a little bit better in some spots, but that's pretty good. So bring your timeline back up and just cycle through and find those points where you want to like get your skater back in the frame. That looks good. So we're out of frame there. That means that this probably needs to be reframed. We're gonna choose to cut his hand off a little bit so we can get the beginning of that trick framed right. And I think we're a little low also, so I might bring this up just a tad so we're looking at the top of the ledge. And so here, we want to start bringing that camera up, framing a little better. So now we're cutting his head off. We got to fix things. This needs to come up more, point up. Yep, head's still cut off, so bring it up just a tad. All good there. I feel like we could be just a tad closer for that kickflip. Framed well, nothing's cut off. Looks good to me. All right. So let's play that. I'd be happy with that. That would go in the video for sure. I hope that helps. You know, if you want to play through that and capture it, you can use a capture card. You can use any consoles like clip upload feature. I would just play it back like this and capture it. And then, you know, whenever you're editing it, you can just cut out the parts where you're paused or whatever, or rewinding like that. So there we go. That's how you film the line with fisheye, and how you do the fisheye glitch. The next couple videos I upload, I'm going to try to do some more like filming tips, because I think that's an aspect of the community that doesn't get focused on enough, is just kind of teaching people how to film. And so we'll do a fisheye tutorial for like handrails and stairs where you're kind of static and not moving with the skater, but just following them down the stairs or the rail. We'll also do a long lens, which is it needs a glitch also, but it's the opposite. You're zooming further in than the game lets you. And that's good for sort of cinematic kind of things and like capturing huge spots. But give me a follow, subscribe if you want to see those. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.